D. If I want to play the D, if I go on the second K chord, it'd be C, right? Yep. Woke up this morning, prayed for bad news. I'm not mistreated, I'm not abused.
I know it seems like I just never lose.
Well, life's too good to be. I sang in the blues. Late for work, my car starts fine. I hit the green lights, I get there on time.
I know it seems like I just never lose.
You know, life's too good to be.
I sang in the blues.
Take it, Jerry. I have no worries and that makes me sad. Living the good life is driving me mad. You know it seems like
I just never lose.
'cause life's too good to be. I sang in the blues. Woke up this morning and I prayed for bad news. I'm not mistreated, I'm not abused.
I know it seems like I just never lose.
'Cause life's too good to be. I sang in the blues. Take it, Cherry. Thank you. Nice. 2-pager, right? No, 1 1/3. Hey, we see somebody else got shirts that wear the same. Keeping us feeling better about ourselves. Well, we're all in the same boat, fishing in the same holes, wondering where the same time goes. We're all in the same boat. We can all believe what we believe, and peacefully agree to disagree. Till you walk a country mile in his shoes. Root-doo-doo-doo. Well, we're all in the same boat, fishing in the same holes, wondering where the same time goes. The money too, trying to fix the same broke hearts, wishing on the same stars. We're all hoping hope floats. We're all in the same boat. We've all been kicked and knocked around, but you ain't gonna keep a good man down. But you can run like hell from your mistakes, but you can't hide from your truth. Root-doo-doo-doo. Well, we're all in the same boat, fishing in the same holes, wondering where the same time goes. The money too, trying to fix the same broke hearts, wishing on the same stars. We're all hoping hope floats. We're all in the same boat. We'll share that beach. If you've been holding, take those shots and keep it real low. And if you can't be nice, don't say nothing at all. So help somebody that might be struggling, spread a little love, gotta give back some. The ship keeps rocking, we'll all go overboard. 'Cause we're all in the same boat, fishing in the same holes, wondering where the same time goes. The money too, trying to fix the same broke hearts, wishing on the same stars. We're all hoping hope floats. We're all in the same boat. We're all hoping hope floats. We're all in the same boat. Gotta love Zach Brown. No cable, one pager. I gotta check with you. Gotta check with her because I get confused up here. I get lost.
And he's just sitting there.
And good morning. Welcome to Unity Spiritual Center of Gulfport, Mississippi. Let's all stand to sing the opening song, Peace Like a River.
I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul.
wonderful way to start the day this Sunday. Let us pray. Let us open our hearts and minds to receive divine inspiration this morning at this very special place and time. May we allow Spirit to inform us of what is ours to release and what is ours to embrace. We open up, we release, and we receive as Spirit moves in, around, and through us. We are grateful for this glorious morning and for all those who are serving today of their gifts and talents. May we each be blessed in a special way. Amen. Welcome to Unity of Gulfport. I know that we have 3 first-time visitors. We have Jim. And we have Jennifer and Brad. Welcome. We're glad to have you with us. Anybody I've missed? Oh. Hello, Zion Angel's mom. I've met you before. Can you give me your name again? Renee, thank you so much for being here. We come together to affirm and to celebrate our unity, our oneness with each other, and with the source of all that is. In that spirit of unity, let us pause to enfold in light and love all the people in our community and in our world. The candle of unity signifies the light within each of us and our connection to the source of all that is. And so it is. Let us affirm our faith. I have faith that God is my instant, constant, and abundant supply. I have faith that God provides ways when to human sense there is no way. I have faith that God is guiding me in all ways. My health, happiness, and success are assured. And now let's all enjoy Looking for a Miracle.
Oh, I'm looking for a miracle. I'm looking for a miracle. Oh, I'm looking for a miracle. I know it's just a matter of time. I'm looking for a miracle. I'm looking for a miracle. I'm looking for a miracle, and I know it's just a matter of time. Now listen to me, doctor, the business that you're in, you must have seen a miracle time and time again. And if I leave my number, the next one you see, if it ain't too much trouble, doctor, get in touch with me, 'cause I'm looking for a miracle. I'm looking for a miracle. I'm looking for a miracle, and I know it's just a matter of time. Now listen to me, Reverend, the preaching that you do. You must have seen a miracle at least a time or two. I'm a stranger to the church, just a little lamb astray. But if you show me a miracle, I'll be here every day, 'cause I'm looking for a miracle. I'm looking for a miracle. Oh, I'm looking for a miracle, and I know it's just a matter of time. Now Thomas was a doubter, he would not understand. He could not believe unless he touched it with his hands. Now I'm ashamed to say it, but he's a lot like me. And I'd like to believe it, Lord, but first I gotta see. 'Cause I'm looking for a miracle. Oh, I'm looking for a miracle. Oh, I'm looking for a miracle, and I know it's just a matter of time. Oh, I'm looking for a miracle. Oh, I'm looking for a miracle. Oh, I'm looking for a miracle, and I know it's just a matter of time. Oh, I'm looking for a miracle. Oh, I'm looking for a miracle. Oh, I'm looking for a miracle, and I know it's just a matter of time. 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 I know it's just a matter of time.
Oh, yes, y'all. That is just wonderful. Thank you, musicians, and thank you for bringing the South via Texas to us in Gulfport, Mississippi. Okay. And now Joan Bignoli will come on up and read the Daily Word.
Thank you. Good morning. Our word for today, Sunday, June 25, 2023, is joy. I am blessed with indwelling joy. In John's Gospel, Jesus prays his disciples, and all who receive their message will experience for themselves the joy he knows. I share in Jesus' joy as I remember I am a living expression of the divine, created in God's image and likeness, just as Jesus was. My ability to express love, life, wisdom, and all other qualities of God is limited only by my willingness to live from my spiritual nature. I am one with God and one in the allness of God with all people everywhere. The joy Jesus described remains with me no matter what is happening around me. I know wholeness in the midst of illness, abundance amidst the appearance of lack. Even sadness in the aftermath of loss cannot overtake my joy. And from John 15:11, I have said these things to you so that my joy may be in you and that your joy may be complete. Joy.
Thank you, Joan. The announcements are on the slide and are found on the back of the bulletin. Djembe drumming has changed to the fourth Sunday only. They will meet today, June 25th. For more information about this rhythm group, please contact Susan Newton. July, we're going to have a music night. It is scheduled for July 14th at 6 p.m. in the Fellowship Hall. If anyone has specific prayer requests, we have a prayer box at the back of the room that has prayer request forms you can fill out. Please place your prayer request forms in the box so that we may pray for them here and at Silent Unity. And now our beloved Reverend Judy is back with us. Oh, one moment. Yes, Miss Nay.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
So my group today, we're going to take our first road trip in the van.
All right.
We're going to go to Moss Point. I bought some cases of water, so we're going to take some water over there. I have a friend with a food truck, and they're going to feed them, so we're going to go over there and see what we can do with the tornado.
Yay, Miss Nay. All right, so to re-announce that, Ms. Nay is going to bring her kids over to Moss Point today. It's their first road trip in the van. She's got a friend with a food truck who's going to be over there feeding folks, and they're bringing water and love. Thank you, Ms. Nay, and thank you, children. Now, without further ado, Reverend Judy.
Oh, my.
What a welcome home. I sure do appreciate it, and we certainly are glad to be home. We missed 2 Sundays. We left 2 weeks ago to go to Costa Rica early in the morning, about 5 o'clock, and then we got back last Sunday and had a great time. I know that we had 2 wonderful programs while we were gone, and watched part of them when I could, and just so excited. And thank you, everybody, that made those 2 weeks so enjoyable for everyone that came. And the speakers, we're grateful for them. And anyway, it was a great trip. It was hot. It was humid. It was Costa Rica. Exactly what we should have expected. And there were 10 of us. There was, of course, Dan and me, our daughter, Jonna, that lives in Hood River, Oregon. We don't get to see her as often. She was with us, and Sherry's family, of course. And Sherry's son's girlfriend, Skylar, Andy's girlfriend, Skylar, was with us. And then her husband Al's sister and her partner, and I'm not going to give you a quiz on this. That was a lot. I can barely keep track of that myself. It's complicated. But Val, my son-in-law's sister, is also a Unity minister. So we get to see each other in a lot of places when we go to convention at Unity Village. And so Val, of course, is very close to my heart. And she's my son-in-law's sister. I've known her for 30 years. And anyway, her partner was there too. There were 10 of us, and it was just a great time. If nothing else, it was wonderful, wonderful family reunion, and a wonderful way to have one. So we're certainly glad to be home, though, and glad that we had this week to become ourselves again with all that travel and activity. So this morning, as we have a time of prayer, we do have an update on our lead musician, Charles Crowley. If some of you are not aware, he had a atrial dissection right here on the stage a couple of months ago. We got him rushed to the emergency room, where he was rushed to University of Alabama in Birmingham Hospital, had emergency surgery, and he's actually doing pretty well. So what was it you said earlier, Bob, about, did you sing that you would come back to church if you could see a miracle? Is that what you sang?
Yeah.
That you can't, no. So there's a miracle for you. I've told other people about it, and they are just amazed that he made it. We give thanks and gratitude for this miracle. And Charles is getting better. He's at home with his wife, Andrea, sending photos to some of us. He's with his cats. He calls them his boys. And just getting better every day. And we have these fine 2 men down there on the end. They wanted me to tell you they did not dress alike on purpose. They actually, one of them had a hat just like the other and chose not to wear it today, but they did choose the same shirts. And we're just really glad, because they are 2 joyful, talented, happy musicians. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for filling in for Charles. And he thanks you too. He's watching right now. He said he would. So, and of course, our regular musicians that were here the morning that Charles collapsed and helped us to get help immediately. And thank you for everyone that was here that morning. Thank you for your prayers and support. And yes, we did have a miracle, Bob, so there you go. Every day is a miracle. So let me get my list to make sure I'm going to give an update. Mary Frost asked for prayers. She's in Covington now, and she fell one day and had a concussion, and she's having a really hard time coming back from that. So she asked for prayers. Lewis had fallen 2 or 3 weeks ago, had hip replacement surgery. He's in rehab in Pascagoula. His partner, Vicki, is here this morning. Thank you for coming, Vicki. And we are praying, especially for Lewis. And we'll go see him when we can. And his total healing, and praying for you too. Yeah, that's a long drive. Praying for a friend, Amanda. And for those of you that don't know, Brenda Buckendale's dad passed away Friday. She's another musician. Aren't we just blessed with musicians here? So many talented people, and we give thanks. But Brenda's father had been declining for some time, a few months, and he did pass away Friday. We will let you know. We'll post on the group page on Facebook as soon as we know what the arrangements are. We haven't any idea so far. Miss Mary, is she still in the rehab?
Yes, I'm going to see her after today.
Miss Mary Beasley. What's the name of the facility? Is it where Maxine was on?
I'm not sure. Magnolia? I think it's called
One Magnolia Place. Okay. Miss Mary is an angel. We are praying for her. One Magnolia Place. She's at maybe temporarily and then maybe for the long term. We don't know yet. So, any other prayer requests this morning? Hey, Tony, you're in my peripheral vision. What are you expecting here?
Prayers for Andrea's brother for safe travel. He's traveling from North Carolina today to be with us over the 4th.
Okay, Andrea's brother John is traveling today to be with them over the 4th. Good. I'm so glad he's going to be here. Yes. Yes, Sean.
I'd like prayers for my surgical nurse Jared and Dr. Hall, who's going to be having the angioplasty on Wednesday. The 3rd time is the charm.
Who is having the angioplasty? You are third time, Wednesday. Sean, requesting prayers for all those who will assist her for the angioplasty Wednesday. Okay. Yes.
For my niece Tara, just
Tara. Okay, Jan's daughter. Okay. Yes, ma'am, Patty. Okay. Oh, indeed. Patty's trip went well. She thanks us for the prayers and asks for prayers for her brother that's having a procedure in July. Yes. Yes, Rick.
For our daughter, Becca Kennedy, her and Kaya and Becca's partner have left their home in New Orleans and climbed into a motorhome and are now setting out on a journey to try and find a place to live. So they don't know where they're going or what they're looking for. They're just wandering. So
Okay.
searching and successful.
Oh, and they took our little sweetheart Kaya with them. Well, Rick
You
and
all better.
Nancy's granddaughter Becca and her partner and daughter taken off and don't know where. We are praying for that, and it could be good, you know? I know. Us parents and grandparents, we know how to worry, don't we? Yes, ma'am. Jennifer. Hummel. Conwell family. Okay. Oh. Brad's nephew and the Conwell family and their loss, their sudden, unexpected loss. 27. Thank you, Jennifer. We sure do appreciate that. We appreciate the opportunity to pray. We consider prayer one of the most important things that we do, and we know that prayer works. We have so many examples of it that we could amaze you with those miracles and those prayers that work. So we're going to hold all of those prayer requests this morning. In addition, we're going to pray for healing, divine order, clarity. Because there are times in our lives when we really don't know what is best. We're going to pray for that as we take a moment to close our eyes, become relaxed, and allow the Spirit of the One the Holy One to enter us, illuminating the heart. As we allow God to enter our lives and ignite our hearts. We just allow our hearts, our entire being to be on fire for good, for God. And we thank God that we're here at this time on this earth, knowing that we are planted here for a reason, and it is to be a light worker. Being a demonstration of all those teachings of Jesus. As he said, do unto others as you would have others do unto you. That's all we need to know. And we say, thank you, God. Everyone present here today and the guiding hand that led them, we are grateful. And we allow this healing love and energy directly from the source to move into every cell in our bodies, making us whole. As we also include in this circle of love all of those prayer requests this morning that were spoken and those not spoken. We pray for them now, for healing, prosperity, divine order, guidance, clarity in whatever is keeping us or our loved ones from peace. We say thank you, God. Amen.
When it rains, it pours, but you didn't even notice. It ain't raining anymore. It's hard to breathe when all you know is the struggle of staying above the rising water line.
Well, the sky is finally open. The rain and wind stopped blowing, but you're stuck out in the same old storm again. You hold tight to your umbrella, but darling, I'm just trying to tell ya that there's always been a rainbow hanging over your head.
If you could see what I see, you'd be blinded by the colors, yellow, red, and orange, and green, and at least a million others. So tie up the bow, take off your coat, and take a look around.
'Cause the sky is finally opened. The rain and wind stopped blowing, but you're stuck out in the same old storm again. You hold tight to your umbrella, but darling, I'm just trying to tell ya that there's always been a rainbow hanging over your head.
So tie up the bow, take off your coat, and take a look around.
'Cause the sky is finally opened. The rain and wind stopped blowing, but you're stuck out in the same old storm again. So let go of your umbrella, 'cause darling, I'm just trying to tell ya that there's always been a rainbow hanging over your head. Yeah, there's always been a rainbow hanging over your head.
Wow. Was that beautiful? Okay. Thank you so much. So this morning, I'm glad that we have some visitors and some others that haven't been here for a while. I just want to take a moment to explain what unity is and what we teach. And we're not some sort of off-the-wall New Age organization. It's what was known as New Thought, and Unity began with some others in the late 1800s, as a matter of fact. And the teachings, there are 5 principles, and they're very simple. There's a power in the universe that we call God that is all good. And you can use any name you want to for God, anything that works for you. If it reminds you of some teachings that you learned as a youngster, and you think about some teachings of sin and salvation and some things that didn't feel so good to you, then think of another name. Think of Spirit, universal truth, love, anything that works for you. So that's the main principle. The second one is that we are each unique and each have the ability to connect to God at any moment, at any time. And as Jesus reminded us, you can do what I do. You're of the same light and the same source that I come from, he said. But that is so often overlooked in the teachings. And third is that we believe in the power of prayer. Fourth, we believe that our thoughts are powerful, incredibly powerful. I'm going to talk about that. And principle 2 this morning of your inherent good and worth. And then, without even saying, since unity was established as practical Christianity or practical spirituality, number 5, we walk the talk. So this morning, I want to talk about discover your true worth. And if I could go back and undo this slide, and the name of my talk, I would probably have changed it to be uncover your true worth, because it was always there. You just didn't know it. Or maybe you hadn't asked to see it before. Maybe you learned growing up that, or you were taught that you weren't worthy. And it's taking a long time to unlearn all of that. And right now, we're in the midst of huge spiritual growth and evolution, aren't we? You just think about the changes we've gone through in the last 2 or 3 years, and some of them that we've let go, and we're willing to come back together and love each other again. Think of the families that broke up over something as silly as a vaccine. At the time, we didn't think we'd ever look back on those times that were so traumatic, did we? That were causing angst, not only in our country, but all over the world. And it's so easy to forgive. All you have to do is be willing to forget. I'm willing to see that differently. Well, I can't believe I got upset over that. Wasn't that a trivial matter? Why did I even care about what somebody else did? So transition is not easy. It's messy. And I think that's what we've been through, especially that's right in front of our faces the last 3 years, if not more. This is a photo of Sherry in the butterfly garden in Puerto Rico. One of our musicians here, for those of you the violinist. She's my daughter, by the way. Isn't that a beautiful butterfly? And I came across this quote, "If nothing ever changed, there would be no butterflies." And I want us to think about that for a moment, how many life changes we go through. And I want to encourage you to look at them differently today. I'm going to say something that is going to strike you as weird or odd, but accept it as something that I think is important to hear. And that it's interesting to me that at midlife, especially, women especially, and maybe men don't notice it as much, but there are huge changes. What if it's a metamorphosis from who we were into the incredibly wise woman we are turning out to be, just like the butterfly, without struggle, without mess, without even a little discomfort? The butterfly would have never come into being. And those of us that are of an age where we've gone through maybe a couple of transitions or more, and maybe they weren't easy, maybe they were painful, and maybe they were very uncomfortable. Let's look at it a different way and start being grateful. Every time you have a hot flash, ladies, fan yourself and say, "Thank God I'm changing again." Here I am right in the middle of becoming a wise, wild woman, and I can't wait. I'm going to embrace that every moment of every day. I hope you will too. Here's something else that's extremely important. This was a post that our friend that was here last week, Valina, now listen carefully, okay? Anybody that's ignoring me, okay, that's zoned out, okay, listen, this is important. And I know it's hard not to zone out for 20 minutes, I know that. Keep the promises you make to yourself. This is your magic. This is the way home. Build a routine. Understand the power of discipline. We don't talk about that a whole lot. It's the highest form of self-love. It means even when you don't feel like it, you hold yourself up. Everybody get that? We're talking about self-worth today, so this is incredibly important. If you're a person that cancels things all too often, if you keep people waiting, if you make plans and even forget that you made the plans, listen to me about this. Absolutely, you're disappointing others. There's no question. You're disappointing others. No question about that. And I've been disappointed a time or two. We all have. But let me tell you the main thing that's happening here. You are disappointing yourself one more time. Now, understand the importance when we're extremely busy and we make too many commitments that sometimes you have to let something go and apologize. I understand that. I've had to do it myself. But if you will be within your realm of higher consciousness and think with your higher mind instead of just impulse at the moment before committing, it will keep you from doing that as often. And if you're a person that overcommits, take that into prayer. Journal about it. Go within. Decide what your priorities are. We cannot be everything to everybody. We cannot. I know because I've tried. I've tried that too. You cannot be everything to everybody. So, if you're not keeping your promises to yourself, you're letting yourself down, and every time you do that, you're taking a little bit away from your own self-esteem and confidence. It's the way it works. So be very, very careful about the promises you make and keep them. This week I was thinking a lot about what I was going to talk about today, and I recognize that there's so many ways that we feel that we're not worthy. I was reading an article by a woman that said that it was so heartfelt and so touching. She said that when she was a child, she was an absolutely gorgeous little 5-year-old, went to school, so excited, couldn't wait to get there, just excited the way she had been with life up to that point. But it didn't take long to learn that she didn't fit in. Didn't take long for her to learn that other people, other kids need to tear you down so they can build themselves up. And because she was a little weaker and she had really curly hair and she was really thin and she wore really thick glasses, she was the target of most of the bullies in the school, in her class in particular. They made fun of her every moment of every day, she said. Even some of her teachers joined in. Her math teacher even said she was stupid. And she got so nervous about taking a test that she found that on those days her anxiety wouldn't even allow her to stay at school because she got sick. And she didn't recognize then she was like everyone else. She was deciding she was different. She had no worth. She had no value. If she were just different, she might fit in. So she took it to heart. So she tried to blend in, but during those early formative years, she didn't. And so she spent the several years of her early adulthood compensating. She went on to school and she hid her true self most of the time because she was still afraid of being made fun of. Because it turns out there are a lot of bullies out there. Did you know that? There are a lot of people that like to bring other people down because they don't feel like they're good enough. That's all there is about it. And there's still some adults doing that. They're 9-year-olds in a, I don't know, whatever age body. They never felt good enough either. And so we need to pray for them. I've said before, look at the news and there's your prayer list. Pray for them instead of judging. It's not pretty, but we need to pray for their self-esteem too, or they would never be that way. So she went on, she said she had she must have become open. She wasn't even aware of it, but somehow there had been an opening in her mind and her being that she wanted to see differently. I want to see something differently. And so she had an epiphany, and she was traveling, and she just saw how she had not been happy. She had never been herself. She was still hiding the true person. She was a people pleaser. She did not think she was as good as the next person at work. She wasn't as attractive. She wasn't as smart. She was never as good as anybody. They were always better than her, and she needed to always give in to whatever it was they wanted because her opinion didn't matter. And she really did a turnaround. She took some time. She realized that even her health, she had been eating for comfort. She decided to quit that. She decided that there were just several things she was going to change about her life, but first she decided to journal and really, really process this and take time to do it. She changed her life. She turned her life around through deciding that she had value. And I've given you some handouts to take with you if you'd like to refer back to them later in the week. If we want to pray for retrieval of our true self, and I say retrieve because it was always there, it was never missing. You might say, "Dear Creator God, I realize," let's look at that word there, to make real. I realize my innate self that I have chosen to hide in order to simply survive. And we don't go with illusions. I know there's some teachings that say, oh, it's just, there's another way of looking at life. This is just an illusion. Well, I don't look at it that way. We are here on this earth with a purpose. We have a body. Yes, our true self is indeed our higher self and our spirit, soul, whatever you want to call it, that comes into this body at birth and leaves after death. But this real life is important. Our bodies are important. So we make real. Please, I pray that my innate self that I've chosen to hide, I want to shine a light on it right now. I want my soul to be on fire for good. And recognize, let's look at that word for a minute. You all think about this word with me, if you would. What's the word recognize mean to you? It means I see you and I recognize who you are. But if you really look at the word and how it came to be, I'm going to recognize whatever I have already decided is true. Okay? Or the truth about me or life. So if I recognize, then to cognize means to understand, to rethink, and see from a higher way, not just look at things the way I always have. I'm going to have a new thought about this. I'm going to cognize this again and again and again till I come up with an understanding that lets me know that prior wounds inflicted by myself or others. I'm not going to blame myself for those, and I'm not going to blame myself because I didn't wake up sooner to the truth either. But I'm going to pray to see those now, because at one time they were too difficult. I couldn't see before because that hurt, and I didn't know how I'd been wounded. I didn't want to see the truth at that time. I couldn't. So whatever age you are, when you decide that you want to recognize, have a new understanding of your life, who you are, and to whom you belong, you may choose that at any time. I want to reconnect to my true self that I've allowed to stay hidden. I claim my divine wisdom, divinity, value, and worth, and I give voice to and from my true self. I lovingly release everything in my life that does not serve the higher good. That may be relationships. And you know if someone's using you. You know that. You know down in your heart if somebody's using you. You need to stop. You're better than that. You can take care of yourself. You don't need to depend on someone else that's going to harm you, abuse you. Anything in my life that does not serve the higher good, I'm going to let it go. I mentioned a moment ago about people that will keep you waiting. I used to have a friend many, many years ago when we lived in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, and she had suffered a loss, her husband, who was our best friend. And I did my best to help her. For so long, I did my best to help her. But I'd go pick her up for lunch. She was routinely 20 minutes late. Well, I had an hour for lunch, and then she would extend. Anyway, love her still. Love her still. Anytime we met, any place we went, anything, it was always the same thing. I waited and I waited and I waited. And at some point, I decided I wasn't going to wait anymore because you know what? And this may be an epiphany for each of you sitting out there this morning too. My time was as valuable as hers. There is nobody whose time is more valuable than yours. May I repeat that? And I understand you may have a doctor's office where you have to go and wait 5 hours. I don't know if I want to tackle that or not. But I do know that the ones that are truly aware, they make certain that they don't overbook, and they make certain that they get as many patients through efficiently but effectively too as they can. Now, if you're hanging out with someone that thinks their time is more valuable than yours, I encourage you to check your self-worth. I really do. So I hereby lovingly release anything, everything in my life that does not serve the higher good. As Jesus said, do unto others. And you know what? The opposite is true too. You can turn that around anytime you want to. No one more worthy than me, their time, their value, their anything. I am not less than anyone. I don't care what education they have. I don't care what royalty they may have ascended from. You are not less than anybody. And don't allow anybody to treat you that way. And importantly, don't treat anybody else that way either. I've chosen to come at this time and am waking to my higher self. I'm enough. I'm here to make a difference in the world by accepting my divinity. I thank you, God. And whichever one of these you need to affirm, and maybe you don't, but it just came to me this week. I meditate and I'll think during the first of the week, and I'll just pray that whatever message I need to give on Sunday will be given to me. And I'll have a word, then the next thing you know, there'll be something else that'll pop up. And then the next thing you know, here's an article, and here's this, and there's that. And it is a true miracle, Bob. And since we're looking for miracles, and this was what came up to me this week, is talking about our self-worth and how important it is. And we were all raised by humans, damaged humans, imperfect humans. And we are too. I suspect we won't ever be perfect, but we can be the best we can be. And that's what I'm trying to do. And when we were in Puerto Rico, we were in Costa Rica, actually, not Puerto Rico. That's next. Let's give it a while. It was hot and humid there. I wouldn't have thought something could be more hot and humid than here, but you know what? There is. But it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And one of the things that's going to help you find your true worth is finding what brings you joy, what makes you smile, what really, really brings out the best in you. Look for that. Look for that. And I wanted to share. This is Shelby, our other singer this morning, and she's a wild child. She may not look like it. She went to USM and completed her bachelor degree last year. When she went to school, she decided that her parents were not going to pay for it. She had scholarships, and it ended up, she held her nose to the grindstone because that scholarship was going to run out. And for 4 years, she did that, and she completed her degree. I was talking earlier about discipline, Shelby, and she did it. She completed that because it was important to her. She set a goal and she did it, and that's discipline. Thank you, Shelby. But this is what she enjoys. She's wild and crazy. She goes with her dad to Universal, and they ride the craziest rides there that they can find. So certainly when people were going on the zip line, she did that and was just, as you can see by the look on her face, she was absolutely blissful. So I would encourage you this morning, if any of my words have meant anything to you, and I hope they've been helpful. And if nothing else, I hope that they've been pleasing. And I hope that you've had a joyful time here this morning, and that you will find that Unity of Gulfport is a loving and wonderful place to be. And I wish you all a blessed week. Thank you for your time.
And thank you, Reverend Judy, for reminding us of who we truly are. Now we give expression to our appreciation for all that is offered here at Unity of Gulfport. Please take your offering in your hands and say along with me, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, All that I give and all that I receive, I give in love and I trust in God. Thank you.
Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then. Who cares about the clouds if we're together? Just sing a song and bring the sunny weather. Happy trails to you till we meet again. Some trails are happy ones, others are blue. It's the way you ride the trail that counts. Here's a happy one for you. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then. Who cares about the clouds if we're together? Just sing a song and bring the sunny weather. Happy trails to you till we meet again.
Well, that was beautiful. Wasn't that nice? We are so grateful for everyone that has chosen to be here today with our spiritual family. We're so glad that you included us in your plans this morning. We give thanks for the generosity with which these gifts were given. We ask that they would be multiplied tenfold for the giver and the receiver, heaped up, pressed down, and running over. Amen. Now let's bless our children. Come on down, kids. And Zai and Angel's mother is here this morning. Thank you for coming. We're glad you're here. Hey.
Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment